Hello everyone, today we are going to do the card review for the new expansion Perils in Paradise. I'm not able to do the card reviews as and when the cards appear because actually as you can see I'm sharing a room with my father actually. So every time when my dad is at home I'm not able to film and make a video because when my dad is at home he'll be playing his music, he'll be watching YouTube and he'll be blasting his speakers throughout the entire room and I'm not able to make a video. So the only time I can make a video is Saturdays and Sunday mornings where this is the time where I'm at home and my dad is not at home, he's at work. So I have very limited amount of time to make a video. So by the time when I'm able to make a video on this, most of like half the cuts, more than half the cuts have already been released. So you may have already seen cut reviews from other channels. So today's cut review, we will not go through every single cut in detail. I will just go through in general the class, what do I think of it, and what are my thoughts about it, and how do I think it will be in the future of the meta. So let's start with the most interesting class and the most interesting card, which I think from this expansion so far, and I think the most interesting card is this card, the rogue card, which is the Maestra Mass Merchant. So this card 6 mana, Warlock Tourist, discover a hero card from the past. So the hero card from the past that you discover may not be that important, but what is important is every time you have a hero card from another class, once you play the hero card, you will transform yourself into a non-rogue class. So once you transform yourself into a class that is not rogue, when you play tests, the rogue cards that you played in the game will be considered cards from another class. I was taught this by one of my some of my viewers actually, who wrote in the comment section and actually taught me this concept. So you transform yourself into another class, and then when you play tests, your rogue cards are going to get replayed. And what are your rogue cards? One of them is this Snatch and Grab. So this will destroy 2 enemy minions, cost 1 less for each card you have played from another class. So it means once you play tests, you are guaranteed to destroy two enemy minions, and this is guaranteed 2 enemy minions. It's not 2 random minions. So you are guaranteed to kill 2 minions from your opponent's side of the board every time you play tests when you have a hero card from another class. So this is pretty interesting for rogue, I think. So, and also if you have a whole bunch, if you played a whole bunch of rogue minions during your game, you not only destroy enemy minions, at least 2, you'll be summoning a whole board of your own rogue minions on your side of the board. And then you shadow step test and attack your opponent on the face the next turn, and if necessary you play test again, and then you shadow step test and you play test again till you win the game. I think this is the concept of this card. So very interesting card, and I'm most excited for this archetype, for rogue in particular, this archetype. And I think this card is going to be played as long as another class rogue is in the meta. So yeah, this card to me is a 5-star card. And also rogue receive pretty much the rogue didn't receive cards that is going to create a brand new archetype. Like for example, during the Whizbang Workshop expansion, rogue received a brand new archetype, Pirate Rogue, but Pirate Rogue didn't actually work out. So but this expansion, you have pretty much we have a few very strong neutral pilots that maybe Pirate Rogue will be a thing in the next expansion, in the next meta, as well as the other class cards. These cards they go pretty well with the other class rogue, and maybe you don't need to play Excavate anymore. So if you want to put all these cards in the deck, you have to remove the Excavate package. So we'll see how rogue does in the next meta. Okay, since we already go through the best, let's now go to the set which I think received the worst, the class that received the worst cards from this expansion. I think is Shaman. Actually, this Shaman, when they announce Buttons, which is the Death Knight card, it seems like Shaman is going to receive rainbow cards. Rainbow Shaman, I thought Rainbow Shaman, the rainbow archetype is going to be a thing, but unfortunately this card, the payoff for playing Rainbow Shaman, this is pretty underwhelming actually. 7 mana, summon a random 5 cost minion, repeat for each spell school you have cast this game. This is pretty underwhelming. In 2024 Hearthstone, I think summoning a whole bunch of minions on your side of the board is not going to win you the game. This is going to annoy your opponent maybe, but it's not going to win you the game. Like for example, if you are talking about Sith Mage, right? Because Sith Mage is the Rainbow Mage archetype. So at least Sith Mage, when after you play all the cards from different spell schools, what you can do is you find Sith, you play Sith and win the game right there and there. But the for this Rainbow Mage archetype that they're trying to introduce here, it's not like this. This doesn't win you the game right there and there. And the new legendary, the Caress, this also doesn't win you the game. It's just there to help you get the advantage, in the game. Let you have the upper hand, but it's not winning you the game right there and then. So, and also if you want to play a rainbow deck like that, you want to play all the cards from different spell schools, you need quite a lot of draw actually. And previously we have multicaster. If you remember this card during the previous expansion, you have multicaster to synergize with the rainbow decks to help you draw your cards. But this expansion, we do not have a card like this, and Shaman is actually pretty weak at drawing cards, so it's very hard to gather all the spells from different spell schools to play them. And even after you somehow manage to do it, you are not going to win the game. It's just the payoff is just so little, so I don't see any reason to play Rainbow Mage. The archetype is just weak. And what is this, man? This card, deal 1 damage to all enemies for 2 mana. This is weak, man. If you remember the previous expansion, we have this card, Condemn. This card is almost never played in the beginning when it deals 1 damage. It only becomes useful when it finally upgrades to deal 2 damage when you have 5 mana. So this melted mana, deal 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all enemies is actually pretty underwhelming. And the only thing I can think of where this card is going to be useful is dealing with the token hunter. So I don't think the card is strong at all. And the only strong card I see is probably this card, Cabaret Headliner. This may be useful in the current nature Shaman. Yeah, and that's all. And also these cards, like for example the Carefree Cookie, they look more like, and this Cabaret Star, the Cabaret Star, they look more like Highlander cards to me. They look more like cards where you play in your Highlander Shaman deck. And yeah, overall I don't see enough synergy and enough cards introduced for Rainbow Shaman to be a thing in the next expansion. So pretty disappointed by this. But let's move on to the next one. The next one is actually Death Knight. Death Knight is pretty interesting. Firstly, we have this location. Although it's a little bit expensive at 4 mana, and it deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. After a friendly minion dies, reopen this. So what I can see here, this is the card where after you play this, you can play it with one of those Death Knight cards where they summon a whole bunch of minions and die, like the Crop Rotation and the Army of the Dead, where the ghouls have rush. So you can combo it with those cards. And actually what I can see is this, after you reopen, you can deal 3 damage again. So this location is the easiest to trigger a lot of times at one go. So this location, I think if you play this location with your deck with the synergy cards, I think this is the best chance for you to activate the Seaside Giant, which is the other new card from this expansion. So cost 2 less for each time you have used a location this game. So you can basically play the Death Knight location. Sorry, I have to keep scrolling around. You can play the Death Knight location and then you trigger the Death Knight location all in one turn at one go if you can do it, and then you just jam the Seaside Giant to have a new 8/8 on board. Yeah, so this if any class that's going to play the 8/8 Seaside Giant, I think it's going to be Death Knight with this location, the Horizon's Edge. And also the other cards like this, the Eliza Goblet, I think this is a no-brainer. Every Death Knight I think should play this from now on. +1 attack for all of the minions for the rest of the game, and you can even combo it with the other card like this Brittlebone Buchanan, where you play a Death Rattle minion, give it Reborn. You can even combo it with the Shout It from the Mountaintop, the Yelling Yodeler, to upgrade the attack of your minions. Like Hearthstone, every minion, when you increase by 1 attack or reduce by 1 attack, this is how Blizzard nerf or buff cards, right? When they just change a little bit of the stats for each of them for the minions, and the difference is actually quite a lot. So even though +1 attack may not seem a lot, you can combo it with other cards to give your minions more attack, and you can be more stronger and win the game faster. And also this new undead that is introduced, they are actually pretty good to discover it with the hero card. The hero card that Death Knight has. I forgot, the Headless Horseman, yeah. So once you receive your head back, and every time you use the hero power, you can discover an undead. These are pretty good cards to discover with the hero power, man. Yeah, and also this Brittle Bone Buchanan, you can combo it with the Freebooter. So even though I'm not really sure if you want to put this in your main deck actually, so this card is pretty good if you can discover it from the Toy Snatching guys as well. So it will be discounted to 1 mana, and you can combo it with the Brittle Bone Buchanan to freeze your enemy side of the board for a while and wait one more turn, and hopefully the next turn they play more minions, and then you can have more value on your Threads of Despair where you clear your entire board. So some synergy over here. And also the Shaman Tourist is actually quite interesting, because Shaman Tourist actually allows you to play the Shaman card, and this card, the matching outfits, this card is actually very good to play with Death Knight, actually more better than Evolve Shaman. I don't think Evolve Shaman is going to be a thing, by the way. The cards available here, the Evolve Shaman cards that's introduced here, are not enough to make a whole deck that is fully focused on Evolve Shaman. So I think this will be more played in Death Knight, because if you have this and you play on Reska, what do you think will happen? 0 mana Reska on the board, you play matching outfits, you destroy Reska, you steal one of your opponent's minions, and then you summon 2 more Reskas, because Reska is like 21 mana, right? There's no more other minions that cost more than Reska. So I assume that once you play this on Reska, you summon 2 more Reskas and you can steal 2 more minions from your opponents. Yeah, so, and also for Death Knight, it is easy to discover and summon 0 mana undeads from the Toy Snatching guys, the Gigantify version. The Gigantify version at 8 attack can allow you to discover maybe a free Cage Head. Yeah, so you can play Cage Head for 0 mana and then play matching outfits, get the Death Rattle for Cage Head going, and summon 2 more minions, 2 more 9-cost minions. So this matching outfit is pretty good for Death Knight. And also, I think in the end, buttons, right? Draw a spell of each spell school. The battle cry is more to draw your own Death Knight spells rather than draw the Shaman spells. Do you really want any of these Shaman spells, these trashy Shaman spells into your deck? I don't think so. So these buttons, I think the drawing of spells is more for drawing your own Death Knight spells, such as your Frost spell. Frost spell like what? Some of the Death Knight Frost spell. For some reason, I cannot remember any of the Frost Knight Death spell, but I do remember there's a Shadow spell called Down with the Ship, the one that put plagues in your opponent's deck. So this card can help you draw it. You can even draw Copsicle. If you play Copsicle in the deck, you can draw Copsicle. So this is a 5 mana draw 2, can be a 5 mana draw 2 spells card to put in your deck. Okay, so we move on to the next class, which is Warlock. So Warlock, this time round, they sort of double down. I think they sort of double down with the Pain Warlock archetype, with even more cards that deal damage to your hero, and even a synergy card where you deal where it gains stats equal to the damage your hero taken this turn. So they are really pushing the Pain Warlock archetype. And also we have this Party Planner Vorna, which can be your because Pain Warlock, sometimes you try to win the game in the early game. So you try to jam your Molten Giant on turn 4 or turn 5, and you do the Imprisoned Horror on turn 3. And if the initial game plan fails, you can just play Party Planner Vorna for like the second backup plan, you know. And dealing 8 damage to yourself is actually not that difficult. The turn 1 you can play the Party Fiend, that's already 3 damage to your hero. And turn 2 you play Cursed Souvenir, give 3/3 to one of the Party Fiends that you summon, and deal 3 damage to your hero again. That's already 6 damage. So turn 3 you just tap, and you are already have an active Party Planner Vorna. So Party Planner is not going to be that difficult to activate. And also we have a new draw card for Warlock. If you notice, currently in standard, the only way Warlock can draw is by tapping. There is no cards, there's no mass draw cards to help Warlock. And finally, I'm pretty happy that finally we have one card that helps Warlock to draw quickly without using the hero power at 2 mana as well. Pretty good. And this the downside of this playing this card to destroy a friendly minion is not even that bad. You can always destroy one of the imps, the 1/1 imps, a small minion, or you can destroy a death rattle minion to trigger its death rattle and just draw 3 cards. And also the death knight tourist, this summoner dark marrow, this is also very very powerful and very useful. You can and death rattle minions, since this Volna is going to summon the Ouroboros. Ouroboros is going to give your, let me see, yeah, Ouroboros is going to give one of the minion in your hand death rattle. So this you can play this and then play maybe one of your cheap minions to summon two times Ouroboros on the board. So very useful. And also some Death Knight cards that you can take, you can just take Brittlebone Buchanan. Whenever you play a Death Rattle minion, give it Reborn. And also the it's also not bad to put, maybe you can even put Eliza into your Warlock deck as well. So your Ouroboros will always be a 9/8 instead of an 8/8. Pretty nice synergy. Yeah, for this archetype. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention this Maestra. This is also a Warlock tourist. So other than generating random cards and try to win from random stuff, if you want, you can even put Ouroboros into the deck. This party planner Volna into the deck for the extra win condition. I think it's not that bad of an idea. You can even play Volna at a discount with Sea Shield. So this card, the next card you play from no road class costs 2 less. You can even play this Sea Shield and play this for 4 mana. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, we move on to Paladin. Paladin, I think, very straightforward. The cards in Paladin, they are very synergistic with each other. All of them work towards the life-saving, work towards the sunscreen. This card. So after the end of your turn, get a 1-cost sunscreen that give +1/+2. So this buffing your cards on the board, the +1/+2. All the cards in this expansion, they are all synergistic to this card. This Volleymore also give you another sunscreen and Sandcastle. I wish they would do this for Shaman, man. If only the Rainbow Shaman archetype get this kind of support, where the entire set actually supports that one archetype to make that archetype come true, rather than what they did. Rather than what Blizzard did for Shaman this expansion. You have a little bit of Evolve, you have a little bit of Rainbow, and it's just all over the place, and none of them are actually that good. That game changing actually. So anyway, this, all of them, they are very synergistic to each other. You can just put all of these cards into one deck. I think it's not going to be a problem. The only question is, will this be better than hand buff Paladin to see play? We don't know yet. And this Sea Shanty is pretty interesting. Summon 3 5/5 pirates that cost 1 less. So the 5/5 pirates that cost 1 less. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought this is going to be summon 3 random 5/5 pirates. So it is not random. It is going to be this 5/5 pirates. Yeah, okay. So you can summon 3 of them, put a whole bunch of minions on the board for 0 mana. This is pretty powerful. This is a proper payoff card, man. Yeah, you can, after you have the 5/5 and then you start to buff them, and then you go face and win the game over there. Yeah, so very very interesting. And we have a very good legendary also, very interesting, turn into a location, and the location gives +3 attack and rush. Yeah, so yeah, overall the Paladin is going to Paladin will still be Paladin. And okay, we have some pretty interesting minions like this. This is a 2/7 with a deck like this. Since you are buffing your minions when they are on the board, so you are going to play your minions like this turn, and then you hope that next turn the minion will survive so that you can buff them with your sunscreen. So you do need minions that can survive, and this is a very good card to survive. Okay, the Battle Cry, the next spell you cast have lifesteal. I'm not really sure about this, but the important thing is this card actually has 7 health. So this card has very good survivability. So it's likely to survive to the next turn, and you can buff it with your sunscreen or your power spike, yep, etc. And also the Grill Master, this is also pretty good in this archetype. You could draw your life-saving aura and also draw your highest cost card, maybe Linessa or Sandcastle or Power Spike. Yeah, correct. What else do I want to say? Yeah, okay. So for the Rogue Tourist, what do you want to put? Which rogue cards do you want to put here? I don't think there is much. I don't think you want to put, maybe only the Swati Sword Shiner. Yeah, so this to repair your weapon. For example, you have already swung twice with your you have already swung once with your weapon, so your weapon has only 1 durability left. So you play the Swati Sword Shiner to give it, to make it to revive the weapon to 3 durability so that you can swing more. Yeah, so overall pretty nice set of cards for Paladin, but it's just that we're not very sure if it can beat a hand buff Paladin, or maybe in the end the Paladin archetype is going to be a mix of hand buff plus life-saving aura. So you hand buff your cards while they're in your hand, you play them, they have a lot of health, they can survive, and then you give them Divine Shield and give them +1/+2 to attack phase together with your Armitage, which is the Titan. Yep, so Paladin will still be Paladin. Okay, so let's move on to the Mage card. The Mage cards. Well, this legendary is a bit of a weird thing to put in Mage, because this card is basically banking that you have a lot of small spells in your hand while you play this. So you are hoping to play this at 4 mana and then play a whole bunch of 1-cost spells or 2-cost spells and summon a bot of 2-cost minions. I don't think it's very good in Mage, because the Mage 1-cost spells, they are not very that useful and that interesting. Okay, the only useful 1-cost spell that I can think of is Flame Geyser, and as well as they did introduce a few cheap spells over here which are not really that game changing. Plus, if you want to summon a whole bot, if you play this on turn 4 and hope that it survive, most likely it will not, considering this is 2024 Hearthstone. 5 mana minion with 2 attack is going to get killed most of the time by turn 4 or turn 5. So if this survives, then the next turn you can summon a whole lot of minions. 2-cost minions with Divine Shield. 2-cost minions, they can't survive very well because most of them have very low health, but at least they have Divine Shield, so they are going to annoy your opponent a little bit. In general, I think this is not like a game-winning card. It's just to annoy your opponent and give you the advantage, give you the edge in the game. So but the problem with this is you need to have a lot of small spells in your deck. So after you play this card and you get a whole lot of minions, you annoy your opponents a little bit, then what? Where is your final win condition where you can deal little damage to your opponent? I don't see it this possible. So you can summon a whole lot of minions and then play Flame Geyser to do 2 damage to your opponent. Your opponent is going to make a comeback from there. So I don't think this card will be that useful or that significant in the meta unless you play this Paladin Tourist, and then the rest of the cards you just play the entire set of Paladin cards from this expansion into your Mage deck. So you will play Rayla, and then you have the life-saving aura, Divine Brew Service. You have all these cards with the weapon, Volleymore. So you're basically playing like a Paladin while you are Mage, and then you have a little bit of Mage support spells, maybe the Tide Pools to discover some spells, Sea Breeze Chalice, go with the flow for spell damage or freeze, and finish off your opponent with a Flame Geyser if you need it. But I think if you want to play a deck like this, you're still better off playing as a Paladin, because Paladin has Armitage, the Titan, and yeah, that's it. I don't see much use of this card, and the rest of the Mage cards is basically just supporting the current big spell Mage. So like cards like York in the Box, which is a high cost spell, the what is that, Sunset Volley, yeah, the 9-cost spell that deals damage and summon a 9-cost minion or 10-cost minion. Yeah, so the rest of the deck like this, draw a different spell, summon a random minion of that cost. But the rest of the Mage, the cards that Mage receive, and the King Tide as well, is basically to support the current big spell Mage archetype. Yeah, so if you enjoy big spell Mage, congratulations, you have more cards to play with. The deck is probably going to be more fun and exciting in the next expansion. And I think the most interesting card of all in this set is actually this card, Go With The Flow. 1 mana, epic card, choose a minion. If it's an enemy, freeze it. If it's friendly, give it +1 spell damage. So this card, I think it will go very well with the current no minion Mage. So the no minion Mage, right now the way to win is to play the Elemental Companion. So Elemental Companion, and you hope to get Hifa. Oh sorry, what's that name? let me see what's the name of the, yeah, okay, you hope to get this card, Leok, right? So Leok, to get +2 spell damage, and then you burst down your opponent with your burn spells. So this is how you win, how most of our no spell mages win. Oh, where I am. This is how most of the no spell mages win currently. And with this card, if you put it in no spell mage, now you no longer have to be worried if you don't roll Leok. You can roll the other elemental Hifa, which is going to discount your spells in your hand by 1 mana, and then you play this on Hifa. So you imagine you have 2 of these in your hand, and then you the elemental companion, you roll Hifa. This is going to be discounted to 0. So you play 2 of these on Hifa, you're going to get spell damage +2, and all your spells in your hand discounted by 1 mana, and you just throw all your burn spells into your opponent's face and win the game right there. So this is an interesting addition to no spell mage, I think. The problem is it is an epic card, so no spell mage currently is a free to play deck. Now they just want to make no spell mage a little bit expensive, so they put an epic they introduce an epic card. You can still play no spell mage as it is currently, but I think it will be better if you add this card into the deck. Yeah, so that's all for the mage deck. And let's go on to the neutral card. Okay, so I think this will be played in all control decks. This is such a strong card, man. 4 mana, taunt, death rattle, all minions fall asleep. Unless you can silence this minion, your aggro decks, the decks that rely on building a board of minions and then go face on your opponent, they are going to be stopped and they are going to be delayed for 1 turn. This card is so powerful. It's going to be played in all control decks, I think. Yeah, so delaying your opponent for 1 turn so that you can have more mana the next turn to play your removal spells, maybe like such as Dissonant Pop, or you can delay your opponent 1 turn so that you get to 10 mana and play your Reno to remove your opponent's board. So yeah, this card is very useful because once it dies, the rest of the minions fall asleep and they cannot attack, so they will all be delayed by 1 turn. Yeah. So what else? This adaptive amalgam, I think everyone knows, is pretty good, especially with the new Warlock, the Orobus, the Vona deck. Yeah, this can be very good in the deck as well. And yeah, we have pretty interesting cards like Gorgonzomu and Mixologist. I definitely can see play for these cards. AFK, I don't know. I think it's a meme card. I haven't seen any synergy with AFK or any reason to play this card. So we'll see how it goes. And let's go to the Demon Hunter. This patches the Pirate. Personally, I do not think it is a good card at all. There are people who say this is a very good card that goes very well with the Blind Eye Sharpshooter deck. I totally disagree. Firstly, this is not a Naga. And secondly, if you're playing the Blind Eye Sharpshooter, what you need to do is to play Naga spell, right? So the problem with Patches the Pilot is if you somehow draw a parachute during your Blind Eye Sharpshooter turn, the Pirate is going to take up 1 board space, which also means you have 1 less Naga to play. So there you will meet a situation where you have to prematurely end your Blind Eye Sharpshooter shenanigans because you do not have enough board space to play your next Naga. So I don't think this card should be added into any Blind Eye Sharpshooter decks because of this reason. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this card in the end may work well, but for the reasons which I mentioned earlier, I don't think it is a good idea to put this in a Blind Eye Sharpshooter. Also, the reward that you get, summon a 1/1 pirate with charge, so it will shuffle 6 parachutes in your deck. I think this card is more like a card where you play Control Demon Hunter because you need to draw through your deck in order to fully receive the benefits, like receive the benefits, right? Like summoning the 1/1 pirate. So imagine you shuffle 6 parachutes, and out of the 6 parachutes, maybe 3 of them are at the bottom 10 cards of your deck. So you may not get the reward unless you play a long game with a more control style of Demon Hunter. And also, if let's say you are playing the long game control style of Demon Hunter, you're going to turn 10, turn 11, turn 12, turn 14, turn 15. Do you think having a 1/1 charge is going to be really that important in your game? I do not think so, actually. I'd rather put something else that is more powerful than this if I'm playing a Control Demon Hunter deck. So the only way I can see this card being useful is you are playing a very fast, aggressive Demon Hunter deck that that aims to win the game by turn 6. So extra 1/1s to go charge to the face will be very useful, because if you are aiming to win the game by turn 6, every single damage to the face is going to be very important. So this is where I can see this card will be useful. Other than that, maybe if they introduce something, a new synergy with this card, like for example, if you have cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw all of them at once and attack the opponent's face. Or if you have cards that didn't start in your deck, do something crazy and win the game right there. Unless you have some synergies like this, I don't think this Patches the Pilot will be a good card. To me, what I see as of now, based on the knowledge I have, this is a 1 out of 5 star card. Yeah. So yeah, which is different from what other people think actually. Yeah, so okay, so for today that's all. I will review the druid cards and the warrior cards again. I'll make a part 2 of this video when the druid and warrior cards are released. If you like this video, please don't forget to give a like, share the video, and leave a comment down below. You will let me know that you like this video, and I may do this kind of videos again. And till the next time, have a nice day, and thank you for watching. Yep, goodbye.